Hello, we are back. I am unsure where we're at, so this might be a new video. This might be a continue of the one you're watching right now, in the middle somewhere. We have got a very hairy, abominable snowman. So we are going to give him a little dust off to see where he's at. I think he's probably, as far as his coat in general goes, he's probably there, though I did notice earlier on there's a little touch up here or there where you can see he's a bit nude. A little bit here, a little bit there. But apart from that, and a little bit there, we're going to be working on bringing it down the back of his head just a tiny bit and building out the beard area. So it's not going to be a ridiculously long beard. So I think what we'll do first is we'll give him, get my dusting brush, we'll give him a bit of a knock off to see what's loose and what isn't. This is where we're going to have quite a bit of pinging. Just so when he's done, he doesn't leave snow everywhere he goes. And we may as well go around the back of the head here a little bit since we're there anyway. I think, depending on how, this might be the last bit of coat work. We'll see what happens with the beard. I want a bit in there. A bit in here. It's not going to run now, it's got all of this coat to grip to. Right, let's get what we've got so far. Right, let's stand him up for a moment. I've had to think about what we're going to do varnish wise, and I think we're just going to varnish little elements. With the high gloss varnish. I'll have a look, so I think I've got some matte model varnish around. If I have, then we will varnish up all of his painted bits just to give him a little bit of protection. But we're going to use the high gloss varnish on like his lips and his nails just to make them stand out a little bit more. That being said, let's come around here. So we've got to get our fingers on his bottom. We're gonna get that little bit in there that needs to be done, and then we're going to build up the beard. I'll be aware of what I'm actually squishing. Right, let's see if we can build up the beard, because as far as the head goes, we're looking pretty good. We might come in a little bit down the side here, a little bit more. I want to try and build that beard up just a bit. Let's come down here a little bit. Extend a little bit, but without coming too close to the stomach. So in down the side. That's what we're going to try and do, is just keep it in this strip here so it nooks under a little bit. Yep. Right, we're going to let him dry again. And we are going to continue building up his beard, because his coat itself is fine. We just want this beard to get a little bit more beardy. Give him a little tap. And I think round to the back of the head is fine, and round the sides we just want to extend down here a little bit. So that's what we're going to try and do. Now we don't want that little black bit wherever it is. I think we got it. Right. Building up the beard. Let's just make sure there's nothing too loose going on there. And each time we add a bit to the beard, we're going to make it a smaller and smaller area that we're applying the glue to. So let's go for around here. We're going to try and stop it from getting too close to his chest. So again, this time it's really short and sweet because there's nothing else to be doing anywhere else apart from that little bit there, which is an awkward bit to reach into. I don't think there's anywhere else. Not that I can see on this look. So yeah, short and sweet in this little take. But this is where we're at. We're building that beard up. We still can't do anything else yet because we just want to do a bit of varnish work. But we can't do that until we've finished dotting his coat about the place. So yeah, short and sweet. Let him dry again solidly for... I've been giving it, since I've been starting so early, about 12-hour stints. So I'm managing to get just about 2 in a day. So, yeah, we're going to leave him there again. Let him dry. Getting from the side there, a little bit of pronunciation on that beard there. So I'm going to try and bring it forward a little bit more. And we'll judge it day by day. And I think we said we were going to take it down here a little bit because he's a little bit thin. So let's get a little bit just in here. And a lot more across here. Like I said, each time it's going to get a smaller and smaller area. Let's just get a bit in that slightly naked zone. And then a lot more under there. Yep, he's getting nice and beardy now. That's better. That was just needed that little bit extra that side. So we're going to leave him to dry. What we'll also do at this point though is his club. It's got some detail because I gave it that Known Oil wash, which is a bit of a black wash, but we're going to bring it brown again a little bit. So we're just going to lightly brush over, a bit of a dry brush with a bit of brown in our mixed pot here. But we have in here and here just what we're after. So we're going to have little to nothing on the brush and just give it a bit of that. To bring the brown out again. We could probably get away with having a bit more on the brush, to be honest. But I just wasn't quite happy with him all blacked up like that. He just looked dirty. That's better. So we're going to go with that. A bit more like an old piece of wood. A little green slipped in there, but that turns out not to be a bad thing, to be honest, because you might have a bit of algae growing, you know, a bit of moss growing on it. It's such an old piece of lumber. That is much better. Yeah, that is more like the wood effect I wanted. That is lovely. Right, I am happy with that now. That looks more like the club I wanted, the club that I envisaged. Envisaged? Envisaged. Yeah. I'm happy with that now, so I'm not going to do any more to that. I might, when I get the matte varnish, because I am going to have to buy some more. Give that a little varnish as well, just again to protect it, because it's going to be handled a lot. It's his club after all, we can't help but give it a little play. So that's all we're doing in this little nugget. Now, in attempt to try and make these videos somewhat shorter and shorter of series as well, when I'm doing rinse and repeat, I'm gonna cut to the next step. So last time we saw him, his beard hadn't grown all that much and he didn't have an awesome hairdo. Now I got carried away with doing the hair, so I'm going to show you how I made that, and then it was just glued on. But yeah, I'll get a better shot of him with my phone and inject that in a second. Actually, let's just do that now, so you can all see him in his glory, and then I'll show you how I made his dreads. And that was a suggestion from my other half, which I absolutely love. I made these extensions of such. Let's get them up. Now, I was originally going to, this might be a bit wobbly because I'm holding the phone with one hand right now. I was originally, how cool does that look? Going to try and bring, say hi. That'll do for now. I was originally going to try and bring his beard down to a bit of a wave. But my other half thought, and I must agree, that this chunkier beard set suited him more. And then I thought, well, what can I do with these? So I was going to bring him in a tash, but again, it didn't quite look right. So, yeah, my other half suggested, how about giving him dreads? Because, you know, Abominable Snowman ain't going to have a comb now, is he? So that's what I did. And I love the way he looks. So he is very, very nearly done. All I'm going to do right now, in this little short nip here, is show you how I made those. I've got a little dread station up here. It's just a load of blue tack, well, white tack, stuck on a ledge so they could hang and dry. So yeah, all I did... Oh, I'm so not prepared. I've left my glue out of reach. Let me go and get my glue. Oh, stepped on. Having a bit of a one this morning. My dustpan and brush fell off just as I started recording. So I did say to myself, as I quite often do, you can just stay there now. You know, speaking to inanimate objects and all that lot. Of course, the second that I move, I forget it's there, and of course I step on it. So I'll be getting a new dustpan and brush at some point. Right, all I did to make the dreads was I got, oh, I'm all butterfingers this morning, because I got some white thread, because he's white. Snipped a little piece off, glued up, oh, get in there, glued up a portion, and then just rolled it through the snow. And that very simply how we made the dreads. Now, that'll come in for something at some point, but yeah, I've literally got a little dread station up there, so that one can go up there for any future products that happen to need dreads or something similar. So yeah, just wanted to show you how I went about doing that. Made a load, I think, oh, easily 40 to 50 in the end, easily. So let's move that out the way. We keep that there? Yes, actually, we want to keep that there. Because what we're going to do now, he's at that very, very final point, is just going to give him a little tap here and there to knock off any loose. And I don't think he's got any in his mouth, because there were a few that got in there, but they have since gone. Nothing anywhere it shouldn't be. We are going to start varnishing him, because I want to keep him. He's going to get manhandled a fair bit. People are going to want to pick him up. He's that cool. So I've got two varnishes, just a gloss and a matte, because I want to put the tiniest bit of gloss just in the mouth, because that'd be wet, so it's going to shine, and the nails just to make him stand out a tiny bit, and then the rest of his fleshy bits I'm going to use the matte varnish for, and same for the club. I'll probably touch that up with matte just to give it a bit of protection. And then yeah, and I am pleased to say the club still goes in his hand. Perfect. So let's just pop that out of there for now. Pop that up there for now. And let's just start varnishing him. So I'm just going to do a little bit, just so you can see what I plan to do with the gloss. This, I'm going to do this one first, because this one stinks to the high heavens. In fact, it's getting to that point where I can't get into it. And it takes the longest to dry, because this is just yacht varnish, oddly enough. But it comes up with a really high shine. Hopefully that hasn't... It's got a bit of a skin on it. I'm not sticking my scissors in there. That's, hey, there we go. We broke the skin. Right. So we are just going to very carefully get this just inside the mouth and over the lips. I try not to touch the teeth, because I like them how they are. In between where his gums are. I don't mind if there's a little build up around the bottom of his teeth, you know, we're thinking about how your saliva gathers in certain points. I'm going to try not to interfere with his teeth. Yep, that is all we want to use this for. And like I say, we're going to do the nails. Hopefully it won't stink out so bad, because I'm not, unlike the teabag monster where I use this quite heavy-handedly. And for quite a bit of him, this is just in a couple of small points. So let's just, if we can, get the nails. Any that we can't see, we're not going to push our luck. I think we can actually see all of them, just got to be very careful. Yeah. And do his lovely, lovely toenails. And then he is going to be left to dry for quite a while. Even though these are just tiny bits, it's still, I know, going to take quite a while to dry. So that is literally all we're going to do right now. We'll let him dry. Plus, I'll be honest, I'm having a bit of an experiment here. This is nail varnish remover in here. I could not find any white spirit anywhere, or all-purpose brush cleaner. So I'm hoping nail varnish remover is going to keep that brush safe. So yeah, that's all we're going to do. We're going to let him dry. I'll come back. I'll show you the start of where I'm matting him. Maybe all of it. See, depends how long it's going to take. And then we'll go in for the final shot. We are back. He is dry. Let's move him there for a second. Put all that on there for a second because we've got to varnish him and we don't want random bits of snow to stick to his freshly varnished bits. You can see I've sort of bore a hole and there's a bit of snow stuck in there now, but that's alright as long as it's not on there. Right, and I've got some matte varnish, free with dog hair. Let's varnish up, and the nail varnish remover worked in cleaning the brush. So, gonna be using that again. And this varnish honks just as much as the yacht varnish does. And let's get, carefully, we don't want big old drips running down him. Let's get protecting him. It's cool, he's so, like, on the verge of being finished. He's waited so long for this day. And so have I. I'm going to have to find him a suitable place on the windowsill in front of me, well, the shelf slash windowsill slash light setup, till we get him a more appropriate home. Then he can watch over me. Might have to make him a missus in the future. I think a pet would be cool to do for him. A little bit of snow there crept up his nostrils. I think I'll have to save the bum for last. I will do under his feet, but obviously that's going to be very, very, that'll be another time last when he's dry. I'm not going to go all the way down because I don't want him to stick to anything. I'm trying to spread this as thin as possible because I don't want any major runs. Right. Let's turn him round. Get those cheeks down. Around a bit of snow hanging off him. We don't want that. Right, I think and a bit of snow hanging there. that's all we can do. We'll give this a thin coat on one side just to protect it. When that's dry, we'll get the other side. That should be okay there, it's not touching any wet bits. Right, that's all we're going to do right now. I'll put the lid back on that because that's well stinky. Put that in the nail varnish remover, which is working a charm. We're there. We're finished. Mr Abominable Snowman, Yeti, some may know him as, is officially finished. Check him out in all his glory. He is so cool. I'm going to have to find him somewhere good to live. I like the fact the club is detachable, so he can just be chilling or he can be out hunting. Up to him. Let's bring his eyes back in the middle there. So I'm going to get the camera on the phone out for a little close-up bowl for you to see of him. He was so much fun to do. Took a while, but that's just all the drying time in between things. So let's get this up. There he is now. Look at that amazing, stunning, beautiful beast there. He is so, so cool. I love his face. I love that his eyes follow you around. He's always watching you. And the hair was a really cool idea from my other half. How cool is that? He's got some proper locks there. See, he's always watching you. Always watching you. Yeah, he's so much fun. That might even have to be the finishing shot. So yeah, that is the very first of the cryptids collection. Unsure right now where I'm going to go next. I'm tempted by going down the obvious route initially of the ones that people know about most. So I'm thinking maybe mermaid. I'm undecided whether to go one mermaid and go for a bit more of a fishy, realistic sort of element, as opposed to sort of your Disney princess kind of mermaid, or to do sisters. One on the darker side of life, one on the lighter side of life. Unsure. I think at the moment that's where I'm probably going to go next, unless anybody suggests otherwise. Because there's a bit of time. I'm not starting the next one just yet. I've got a few other things in between now and then. So if any comments do pop up as to what cryptid you'd like next, and if I'm not sure about what it looks like or I've never heard of it before, there's always Google, so I can find out. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. Hope it's given you some ideas as well. Thank you all so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out. Like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Can't thank you all enough again. It means a lot. I'm growing. People are liking what they're seeing. People are commenting on what they're seeing. It's fantastic. Here's to another year. Well, it was only half a year last year. This is my official first full year that I'm going for. So yeah. Thank you all so much. Take care and see you in the next one.